My wife took my business credit card without asking and used it to host a grand party at a luxury restaurant. Later she called me and said, I paid the $42,000 party bill with your credit card. I couldn't stop laughing, until her face turned pale when she realized she was in trouble. The phone rang sharply, cutting through the stillness of the afternoon. I glanced at the caller ID. It was my wife, Jessica. Mark, she said in a casual tone, as if this were just a normal conversation, you need to come to Issa Restaurant right away. You know, the one across from the station. The whole family's here waiting for you. I was confused. Issa Restaurant? You mean that fancy French place? What do you mean the whole family is waiting for me? Without waiting for me to understand what was going on, Jessica interrupted. Yeah. I reserved the entire place. I even invited some of the family members who usually can't make it. It's going to be great. There was a pause, then she added, the cost is around $20,000, and I'll be paying with your credit card. Before I could respond, the line went dead. I stood there in silence, gripping the phone. Did she just say my credit card? $20,000? Was this a joke? But deep down, I knew it wasn't. Jessica had pulled reckless stunts before, but this was different. Despite the shock, I grabbed my coat and headed for the door. I wasn't about to let her get away with this, whatever this was. 20 minutes later, I arrived at Issa Restaurant, my mind racing with questions. How could Jessica be so careless? What was her plan? Did she really think I'd let her spend $20,000 without a second thought? As I walked into the restaurant, I spotted Jessica standing by the entrance. She was alone, with that smug, unsettling smile on her face, like she had everything under control. But I could see the cracks in her composure. Mark, she said, spreading her arms wide as if greeting an old friend. The relatives are in the other room. We're just getting started. I stared at her, still trying to process everything. Jessica, you can't seriously be planning to pay $20,000 with my credit card. Her grin widened. Of course I am. Like I said, it's only natural for a husband to support his wife. Don't you agree? I couldn't believe my ears. Was this the woman I had married? The woman standing before me seemed more like a stranger, someone so consumed by arrogance that she couldn't see the mess she was creating for herself. Jessica, I said, trying to remain calm, this is ridiculous. You don't even have a plan, do you? You don't understand what you're doing. But Jessica wasn't listening. She looked at me like I was the one who didn't understand. Mark, don't worry about the details. I've got everything covered. She leaned in closer and lowered her voice. A husband's money belongs to his wife, remember? My patience snapped. You really don't get it, do you? This isn't about money. It's about respect. And you're crossing a line, Jessica. Jessica shrugged, unfazed by my words. You can argue all you want, but in the end, I'm paying with your card. If you have a problem with that, maybe you should stop being my husband. There it was, the threat. It wasn't the first time she had used divorce as leverage to control me, but today, I wasn't going to back down. I pulled out a folded piece of paper from my pocket and held it in front of her. What's this? Jessica asked, her eyes narrowing. I canceled the credit card a month ago, I said, my voice steady. Here's the cancellation certificate. For the first time, Jessica looked unsure of herself. She grabbed the paper from my hand and scanned it quickly, her face turning pale. No way, she muttered under her breath. You are lying. This has to be fake. Why would I lie? I shot back. I knew you'd try something like this, so I prepared for it. That card is useless now, Jessica. So tell me, how are you going to pay for this dinner without any money? Jessica clenched her jaw, her eyes darting around the restaurant as if searching for a way out. I took the card from your wallet this morning, she said through gritted teeth. If it was really cancelled, why would you still carry it around? I let out a short, bitter laugh. I left it there on purpose, Jessica. I knew you'd try to steal it. And guess what? You fell for it. Her expression darkened for a moment. She stood there in stunned silence, but then her anger flared up. Mark, you're really starting to test my patience, she hissed, her voice rising. A wife doesn't talk to her husband like this. Her voice was so loud that heads turned in our direction. The other diners began to whisper, casting curious glances our way. I could feel the tension building around us, but Jessica didn't seem to care. Her ego was too fragile, her pride too easily wounded.